1 2 3 1 2 3. This is a test. Let's see. Hi. 1 2 3. I am live. Let's see how it looks. Just give me a second to finish preparing the stuff. Okay, let me see the volume. Alright, looks alright. I'm gonna get close anyways to it, so it's gonna get even better. Alright, today, as I said in the previous stream, today I am going to shade this character. It's gonna be a chill stream, just shading this character that I drew. By the way, this character is for a manga project that I'm practicing. Oh, okay, this one out of the way. Yeah, so I have a project, I have an idea. I want to draw a manga. I want to draw a one shot, which is gonna be this character for, and then a bigger manga, but I'm not gonna get the chariot on front of the horses. That's an expression that they say. So I'm gonna draw a one shot, I'm gonna practice, and then if everything works well, it will, I know, then I'm gonna draw a bigger manga. But for now, drawing this character, which is gonna be the main character, we drew it the other day. One day we drew it. We drew the his armor, his outfit, whatever. And on the other day we drew the outfit, and then something else that we did on the other day is a little bit of ideation for like the villain, which is gonna be this guy, and then this is gonna be another side character. For now, that's what it is. Okay, and yeah, so in the future streams, maybe I'm gonna draw this character and then this character, right? But for now, I don't have much battery on the iPad. I know it's an excuse, unprofessional one, but I'm just gonna take the time today to draw to shade the character, and also to come up with like a shading technique or a shading mentality. I don't know how you call it. Okay, so we're gonna make it in a new layer. Okay, so alright, what I'm gonna do, should I make a new layer? You know what, I think let's make it in this layer. Okay, in a new layer. Alright, so to shade the character, you can either, well, there's multiple ways to shade him, but you can shade him like with strokes, like I'm doing, or you can draw big big black areas. For example, I could have just done this, to make it all black, or like how the comics do it all black, and then, for example, erase better than this, of course, some parts, for example. It's a technique. Hi, what is the manga color? What do you mean? It's gonna be black and white. It's gonna be inking. What do you mean manga color? Let me know if you're referring to something else. Ah, manga name. Uh, I am thinking about it. To be honest, I'm still thinking about it. It's gonna be something related to bones, cause that's this guy's power. Basically, he takes out like ribs and he transforms it into swords. That's part of the world that I'm creating. There's like these superpowers or this, yeah. There's like physical enhancement, regeneration, psychic control, which is what this character doesn't have, and matter manipulation. Bone manipulation. Yeah, he has that power, but that would be too direct of a name if I make it like that, no? Bone manipulation. I'll tell you the names that I have in mind. This one, Serratus. Where does Serratus come from? I forgot. Comes from something related to bones, but I forgot. And this one is spine, but you can also read it like Serratus spine or Serratus pine. I kind of like this kind of play on words. But anyways, I'm gonna get back into drawing. But if you have like a suggestion, feel free to leave it in the comment. I appreciate it. I'm kinda bad with names, and I do struggle a little bit with like coming up with names, and I overthink a lot. By the way, basically, that's what I mean. In terms of names, because you have to do research to see if that name doesn't mean something silly in another language, or if that character's name isn't like very popular somewhere else. So when anyone's gonna search your character, they're gonna find the other character. That I think that can be quite annoying. What about Spectus? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for subbing. Spectus. Okay, I'll write it here and I'll search it after. All right. I just don't want to get too, of course, of the stream idea, so I'm gonna search it later. But thank you for suggestion. I appreciate it. Spectus. I have to see if it's, yeah, just like I said, if it doesn't mean something else in another language, if it's an original name, and even if it's not, it can still be used. But um, it depends. It still depends. No, I'm just following the shape and I don't like it. I feel like it's a little bit boring. What if I do like, okay, so let's think that there is a light, right? We gotta think about the light. Let's say there's light from above, doesn't matter if it's left or right for this one. It's coming from above, so there's gonna be a little bit less shading here, or it's gonna be a lot, but it's gonna be less crowded, for example, like that. And then here it's gonna be a little bit thicker, if that looks alright, but it doesn't. That doesn't look that good. Okay, I'm gonna do it how I was doing it. I think that was the best way for now. Just with some groups. By the way, also add a time skip in the manga. It's gonna be a one shot. It's gonna be a one shot, so it's gonna be just 40 to 60 pages. I'm gonna show you what I have. Um, don't mind the names. This is what I have. Oh shit! I probably shouldn't show the name, like what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like 50 pages. It's gonna be split in two parts. One is like a contest fight, and the other one's gonna be like a fight with the villain, right? So the contest fight is gonna be 28. It's gonna be longer. Um, it's gonna be longer because there's gonna be like the introduction of the characters, the world build, and then the final fight's just gonna be 12 pages. It's not a lot compared to the first one, but everything's gonna be set, so I think that's pretty fair. Hey, hey, Zany Dross. Wait, make one of his bone power. He can use bone to make a shikigami. A shikigami. Okay, I'll add that, and yeah, just like I said, I'm gonna bone makes shikigami. Let me do a quick search. What is that? If that's a sword, shikigami. Shikigami is the term for being from Japanese folklore, for a being. He's gonna make only swords. I don't know what's a shikigami. What I see is like, it's like a, I don't know what this is. Looks like a slime monster. I have a weird how do you call it, browsing engine, so I have like weird results. I don't know if I'll search about this, but it's gonna be, he's gonna make like different kind of swords. By the way, uh, since I started talking about it, I'm just gonna show you, like, I have done here some stuff. Like, this is the first, like, very rough ideas, like some sketches, I wanted to say quick sketches, but some of them took a lot of time. But yeah, what I want to show you is, yeah, he's gonna be doing. Wait, it's not in this part. He's gonna be creating his own swords. I think it looks pretty cool. It's loading. I have an iPad from 2018. So he has, like, if you can see this rib popping out, and he takes it out here. Let me make another layer and another color so you can see. He takes it out, he snaps it. Everybody's in shock, blah blah blah. And then, like, this is kind of the sword that he can do. He can do whatever kind of sword he wants. I just have some ideas for the swords. It's gonna be like, one's gonna be a classic one like this, and then, yeah, that's the drawback of his power. He cannot maintain it too long, but there's a reason for it, of course. It's not just like that. Then he's gonna make like 2 daggers, and yeah, and that's pretty much where I am. I haven't finished this, but this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 16 2 4 6 8 8 16 32, almost 32 pages already drawn, so I think the progress is pretty good already. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then after I'm done with this one, I'm gonna draw the main manga. Make the villain power manipulating sand and he's big but weak. Looks like I'm a little bit dyslexic. Sorry. Um, he's gonna be actually the reverse. He's actually gonna be looking weak. He's actually gonna be looking weak. He's this one. So he's kind of frail, but he has like. It's funny that you say controlling sands. He actually controls these stones that he has all over himself. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with this version or this version, but he has like psychic powers, everything that the one thing that the main character doesn't have. So it's like a contrast. Yeah, he controls these black stones, and then there's gonna be some story with his necklace, which here I drew it like kind of bigger, and then here I drew it kind of small. There's gonna be like a plot twist with that, but yeah, yeah. He has psychic powers. He controls and makes stone golems. I'm not sure about that part. He's rich, whatever. It's just to show that he has like golden and silver stones like that all over his body, or royal. He's arrogant, unfriendly, and physically weak, but he compensates with like these stones. He can kind of like Gara, you know. He has like the sand to protect him physically, so he doesn't have to be physically strong. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Kind of feel bad I'm the only viewer. No, that's all right, man. I appreciate it. Is that the final villain, and does he help the main character? What do you mean? No, he hates the main character. He's the villain. Yeah, he's the villain. No, he despises. He's gonna be very jealous of the main character because he's gonna get like a lot of attention. The main character gets a lot of attention, and then the villain, or not yet villain, because we're not gonna know that he's yet villain. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, this guy is not really a big shot, you know. Look at me. Uh, yeah. So and people is gonna slowly see his true face, that he's like fake. That's gonna break the villain, and he's gonna do like stupidity, and yeah. Spoilers. Like this. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm going for. All right. You know, in manga, there's like some stuff that is shaded. Not everything is shaded. So I'm thinking what to shade and what not to shade. I know that he's gonna have like a dark t-shirt, black t-shirt. Oof, what am I doing? Black t-shirt. So I'm gonna play with like some, not colors, but um some shapes. Not shapes. Shading, I guess. gonna have something like this, but also the sleeves. To see what's gonna be the mood of the character. Gonna have a suggestion for the main character's name. How about Kurokoshi? The two early parts of the life. Did you have any viewers? Yeah, I had like one viewer here and there, two viewers here and there, and then off. It's fine. I'm not gonna be. I don't know if you were a subscriber before. I was doing like videos. I have like 20 videos on drawing, and then like I took like a 2 to 3 month break from YouTube. Cause I was paying too much attention at the viewers and the likes and all of that, and I said that's not healthy, Cause some videos I was getting like 10,000 views, or close to 10,000 views, on some other videos like 300 views, and I was thinking the video with 300 views, it's so much better. Why doesn't people look at this one instead of the one with 10,000, which is like so much more basic? I was getting frustrated, and then I said it's not good, because I'm constantly looking at numbers, and it's not good long term. So I did a break, and now I don't really care about viewers. I'm gonna be like another streamer says, I'm gonna be an artist on YouTube, not a YouTuber that's an artist, which I don't like. I'm just gonna do my thing, and if somebody wants to watch, that's super cool. Like you're watching, I appreciate it a lot. They don't wanna watch, hey, that's fine. I'm just gonna do my thing. I'm not gonna chase this like constant validation for views and likes and what do you think about my drawing and all of that. No, I've done that enough. I think it's time to say enough of that. For now, at least. I'm saying that, but who knows? Uh, and make part of the bone manipulation to remove one enemy's rib, but he feels pain. What? Nice, brother. Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope that this mentality stays for forever and not like on and off. Make part of the bone manipulation to remove one enemy's rib, but he feels the pain. He feels the pain. So the main character goes and removes an enemy's rib? Ah, but the main character feels the pain. That's what you mean? That's gonna be brutal. I don't wanna. I don't want the main character to remove the enemy's ribs. No, 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 no. I think that's brutal. No. Nice suggestion though. But I think that's a little bit horrible. Because that's gonna start becoming like gore, you know? Yeah, the main character feels the pain and he has regeneration, but what about the enemy? He doesn't have regeneration. It's gonna be wild. Maybe for another manga I can do something like that, but for now I kinda wanna keep it like shonen style, not like too much gore, not too much like not too bloody, I guess. But thanks for the suggestion. Right. Yeah, that's gonna have this. Yes, not brutally, uh, like face through it stuns for seconds then goes back, like face through it stuns for seconds then go back. Can you rephrase that? I don't really understand at all. Okay, yeah, let's do the pants. I'll just do it to select the vibe. If I make you the viewer, if I make the pants white and the t-shirt like dark color or black, does it remind you too much of Toji? Because I don't want to copy like any major character, you know? I don't want to be like, oh, this guy made Toji, you know? Which I don't think it's like a huge deal, because um, his design is nothing like wow. It's just the colors and yeah, black t-shirt and white pants, right? Or light gray. I don't even remember. But this one's gonna have something like that. Uh, like then the read goes back. Nah, not at all. Okay. Like then the read goes back. But it reminds you just to put any color of your choice. Yeah, I'm gonna not put the same colors, of course. And to be honest, I would prefer to not put any color, to just shade it, you know? There's like some rules of manga. I like it when they use like two colors max, like white and then a gray and black. That's it. Gray and black. That's it. Don't count the white. Gray and black. Or two grays, like one very dark. Because that feels more like uh, drawing than painting. Because I don't wanna. If I add more than two colors, it's gonna start being like a colored manga. I don't like it. Even though it's black and white, it's with grays. Too many colors. It doesn't feel cool. And shonen is one of my favorite. Yeah, of course, me too, me too. That's a classic mangas for the boys, you know. Yeah. Oh, he's missing. He's missing a line here, like that. Like this. And then this one. I'm gonna work on this one. I'm not gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna put him some shoes. But for now, let's work on the upper part. Okay, I'm gonna shade a little bit here. Sometimes less is more. I'm just gonna make like none. His armor is gonna be gray, so it's gonna be pretty much more towards the white. Check. Hi, I'm new. You should make an ally for the main character like a Samari AI. Like a Samari AI. I don't know who's that. He's gonna have allies, but there's gonna be like a specific setting. That's why he's gonna have an allies. It's a short manga, by the way. For M Reddit Guy 77, if you're new here. Shonen is his big sword, or Naru small. Like a new character by making them look like a villain hiding their face. That's an interesting idea because he kinda in his story he kinda looks like he's a little bit mysterious in the beginning, so he kinda you can kinda say that he's a villain in the beginning, or you don't know. I mean, there's not really villains in the beginning. There's just gonna be a setting, you know. It's gonna be like some. It's gonna be like some games, games that they participate. You know, you don't really know like people's true intention. They just want to participate in order to come back to. Now that I think about it, I think it's pretty similar to Hunter x Hunter, because they go through some challenges to through some competitions to get like a license to do other stuff, right? That's kind of what's going on here, but not really to do what they want. It's more like to come back to society because they've been ostracized because of their powers. So they kind of need like a passport or something like that to go back to society. It's like, hey, I'm responsible now, you know. It's like people are normal, um, and then when they turn like 18, kinda, they develop these powers and they can't control it. The kids can't control it. So what happens is they make a lot of ruckus, a lot of um, bad stuff, you know, random stuff like accidents and stuff like that. So they're like pushed away. How about the time skip? Is the second time you asked for the time skip? It like the story is really small. Like it happens within 3 4 hours, let's say. A time skip. How can I make a time skip? How can I make a time skip? Like in a one shot. I can do it, but I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I'll put it here on the side and I'll think about it, alright? Time skip. I'll put it under suggestions. Actually, this one I'm gonna put it here. This one I'm gonna put name. Name. I have a lot of arrows. I need to delete some of these arrows. I have a lot of arrows. Yeah, this one I was explaining that drawing is not like painting. Okay, let me clean it up a little bit because it's too messy. This one I was explaining how how this one works. Just gonna delete a little bit. Damn, talking is a little bit hard today. Okay. Okay, let me read some more comments. Cause thank you guys for. By the way, thank you for joining and commenting. I appreciate it. How about the time skip? I already read that. By the way, you should make him name his weapons like his sword, or if he gets a shield, it's Zoroki. I don't know, you decide. No, he's not gonna get shields. He's just gonna make swords. He could make shields, but in the tournament, add point when you defeat a person who uses powers 5 points, but normal. Oh, that's too different from what I'm thinking. But in colored version, make his hair blonde and add the tip dark green. All right, I'll consider that. I'll consider that. I cannot make any promise, but his hair is kind of blonde, yeah. But the tip, I'm not a big fan of tipped hair. But I'll consider it. I'll write it here. Hair blonde. All right. All right. Let me see. How can I make this one? I wanna shade it, but what if I shade it like this? Let's see how it looks. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Right, the light comes from where? From here. If there's a light. And here, should I make the same? Something like that. Something like this. I want this t-shirt to be like almost full black, but how can I do that? If I do that, there's not gonna be like any muscle definition, right? Um, by the way, make him like Luffy from One Piece, One Piece. So like he's gonna be the best, strongest warrior, but maybe he's gonna join different warrior teams. I don't know. I'm running out of ideas. Thank you for the ideas. There's already a story in mind. He um, so he was basically like an orphan, him with someone else, uh, and they were both like taken out of the streets by someone, right? And they didn't adopt them, but they made like experiments on them to reveal these powers like sooner than the other kids. And when they saw that he has like a weird mutation of powers, like with his ribs, the one that I explained, they didn't like that, so they discarded him. They threw him in the streets again. And basically, since he's banned from society, he cannot go back and claim his friend or that's been with him. So yeah, he became strong, and now he wants this certificate, this card, this passport. I don't know how you wanna call it, so that he can go back and save his friend. That's kind of his motivation. Yeah. Why does have to make swords if he has one? That's a good point. I was actually thinking of having two, just because there is like a shoulder pad. I'm not making a second one because it's gonna be like too much clutter on the left side. The reason he the reason the reason that he does that. Wait, what did I do here? The reason that he has a sword when he can create swords is he doesn't like this power of his, so he uses a sword first, and then of course he has like energy, so he cannot like take ribs out of him like whenever he pleases, like everyone has like vitality, he cannot like, and he cannot take it and like keep it with him. There is like a time limit for him to have the sword in his possession. There's like a there's like a reason, specifically for a reason. I don't know why I'm like gatekeeping the details. By the way, let's say that his blood is pure, and since he's gonna fight like impure creatures and this guy, um, and his sword is made out of his bone, flesh, and blood, right? When somebody else's blood gets in contact with his, like the sword cannot be maintained anymore, so it degrades in like 5-10 seconds. That's why he cannot carry around. He can actually carry around, but he doesn't like to do it. And yeah, he carries around like a generic sword. I started drawing like arrows again. But yeah, maybe make him harder, the sword harder, like Haki. What do you mean by that? Harder the sword, harder like Haki. Who is Haki? You know what? I'm gonna experiment. I'm gonna experiment with making this one black. Duplicate, just to see how it is. I'm gonna delete here some parts. I'm gonna use this brush. Gonna delete some parts here. The light comes. Oh, well, it should be the other way around. Should be like this. To make it maybe thinner here and thicker here, and here the same. It's kind of looking flat. It's kind of looking flat, right? What if I make it like rounder? That looks better. That looks better. A little bit. Haki from One Piece. I did not watch One Piece. The hardening, you know it, right? No, I do not know. It's when one Luffy becomes like black. Is that what you mean? By the way, don't make your comic too epic. It will make lots of time. It will make lots of time to think. I have an idea where there's like a government named ATC, and it's government where everyone who works there are wearing makes. I think you didn't finish your sentence, right? Make his sword hardening. The sword with the bone powers. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'm gonna add that one. But I mean, if the sword becomes like a bone, right? It's gonna become hard. maybe in the future if I reuse this character. Yeah, sword hardening. Do you mean like it doesn't break? Hardening. That's a good idea if I'll make this series longer. Oh shit. Wait. I write it in the longer wrong layer. Sword. Hardening. Um, flat shading. Yes. Okay, let me do a little bit of this and then I'll read more comments. What else though? Huh. Look at this. What if I had something like this? Okay, let's try it. Let's try something like this. Let's see how it's gonna work. If I make all of this black. If I make this black. Ish. I knew it. Doesn't look that good. It's not even black. Oh, okay. I'm not using black. That's why. I'm gonna work the other way around. Gonna make this black. I like the aesthetic of the like bigger contrast, right? Instead of like this gray, completely black. Just need to nail the lightning to bring out the shapes. I think that's a skill on itself, right? Something like this. Read some comments. Make his sword hardening the sword with the bone powers if he wants. Make his sword hardening the sword with the bone powers. The sword with the bone powers. I don't get it. If you can clarify. Okay, I'll try to explain how it works. From his ribs. Maybe I'm not explaining it correctly, that's why you... From his ribs he takes out and he makes a sword, right? The sword is very solid, it's very hard, right? The sword doesn't only come from the ribs, which is the bone, it also comes with like let's say not the flesh because that's more disgusting, with his blood, right? And let's say that this one is pure, and then when this pure enters in contact with corruption, with like let's say a blood that is doesn't really have to be like blood with disease or something like that, you know, it can be like something that it's not his, If it's his, he will maintain the bone forever. uh, Bone. How am I gonna explain this one? It's pure, but if it enters in contact with something else, external blood. So when he cuts something, um, it starts to rot, but pretty quickly. It just starts to uh, disintegrate. I think that's the proper way. I don't even know how to write this one. Disintegrate. Right? Yeah. If not, like, he can keep the sword for like a lot of time. If it touches something, it's gonna disintegrate. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Okay, I'm gonna try. Something like that. Here, no, because it's gonna create confusion. Maybe I should add more than that, no? Maybe this is too little. Too little. Should delete more. Maybe I should do it like this. Or it's too much. Maybe it's too much. Where's the line? Oh, his pecs are long. What the heck? Now that I realize. Yep. By the way, sorry for my wrong spelling on my last comment. The Macy's masks. In the government where everyone works there are wearing masks. Yeah, I have like the main manga. I have it. The idea with it's gonna be a guy against a government or the government in that world. Um, Masks. You have to tell me like a reason why they're wearing masks. Because if it's just like without any reason, maybe there's like an air pollution or like an air pollution that they're aware and not the public. That would be interesting. But I would need a reason for why they're wearing a mask. I don't know if I like it, to be honest. If it's too let's see. There's different way to shade. I could do like this. Bear with me. It's not yet done, of course. This would look horrible. Just have to go like multiple passes. But I'm not a big fan of that kind of shading. But it could work. No, I think instead of trying to appeal for something that works, I'm gonna try to go for something that I like, which is gonna be like uh, um, let me try like a darker one. This could work. Even darker one. That's too dark. What? Why can't I? Oh, what the heck? I entered like a weird mode. I entered like a weird mode. This is like painting like that. Okay. I gotta do more research on this one, and I don't wanna do it on stream. I'm gonna continue with the shading here. Okay, let me read some more comments. FK. By the way, sorry. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna think about that one. Okay, let me see. Gonna continue shading here. Can you tell me if the quality of the stream is good if you make it like full screen? Because I have the impression that it's a little bit blurry full screen, but I'm not sure. I got this capture card, and I've been using it because it's easy to set it up, but I have the impression that it's not full HD. Not full HD. Okay, so this side is closer to the light source. This one is farther, so I'm gonna add a little bit longer shade light. By the way, I'm making my own anime series, and I made the first fight scene, and it's my character, and it's a samurai, and it has 3 eyes, but its helmet covers the third eye. It's about him cutting an axe attack. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I have to make like a Discord or something for to see like people's stuff, because I would like to see what you did. That looks pretty cool, or sounds pretty cool. If there's a way that you can show me, but don't be careful. Don't share your personal stuff here. That's my recommendation, of course. On the internet, it's recommended not to. Not in public. His sword. Okay, I'm gonna make sword is like nothing special. It's gonna be something like this. And here, is there gonna be something special? No. It's gonna make like, let's see, a shading like this. It's gonna be boring. How did I not ink name this layer? Okay. I'll make something like so that it's not generic, you know. Look at this, and then this one also. Go. Pretty generic, but by the way, I don't have Discord, sorry, but I can make a short about Samari character if you like. Yeah, that'll be cool. I'm gonna check your channel. Can I? Yeah, I can do go to channel. Okay, I have your page open here. So I'm gonna check it. Gonna keep it open for like 24 hours, and then I'm gonna check your stuff. Thanks for sharing your. I mean, you didn't share it yet, but I mean, idea, inspiration, you know, or like. How should I say? It's like this when you share something, you know, you kind of hype up the other person, right? Motivation, I guess. So I guess thanks for that. Keeps someone going, you know. I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna say, oh, that's pretty cool that one of the viewers is doing something cool, you know. It's like healthy competition in a way. So yeah, I don't know if this looks really bad. Looks like boring a little bit. Doesn't matter though. It does not matter. It's gonna be something like that. Whatever. It's gonna be. No. You know why? If I'll make it too unique, it's gonna take away from the rest of his design. And definitely this sword is not like the main focus of it. So I'm gonna leave it like basic like that. Or almost basic. Just gonna give it like a small thing. So that it doesn't clash with like his personality. Because you're gonna look at him and you're gonna say, oh, that's a cool sword. What does the sword do, you know? Oh, I like the character for the sword. And then it's like, bro, the sword is like, he's gonna use it like 1 minute and then it's gonna break. Pretty much. Maybe that's a bad choice. But, oh well, I'm just starting, it doesn't matter. Hi. Hey. Rueda Hagi. I think it's the first time I see you here. Or I did already see you. Your name kinda sounds familiar, but I don't know where. Where did I see it? Okay. Back to this one. Back to the pants. Back to the pants. Look at that. It's gonna be like the shading. Oh crap. I'm drawing in the wrong layer. There you go. Actually, should make it long because this one is casting a shadow also. Like that. And like this. There you go. Let me see. I have some manga references here. I'm gonna try to copy like the way it's shaded. Oh, hey man, I'm almost done. Oh, that's cool. We're gonna upload the video, right? What else do I have? I have this artist. I like how he shades. Okay. Alright, gonna try creating my own shading. Let's see here for the dark sides. Yeah, something like that. This one goes into this direction, so I'm gonna follow it. This one in this direction. Forget the concept of light here. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna forget it because it doesn't really matter. It's better for something to look aesthetically pleasing than anatomically or yeah, not anatomically but worldly accurate, I guess. This one, just gonna fill it in. Here's some gaps. Like that. Okay. The pants here looks pretty slick. If I do say so myself. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you draw uh, whoever is watching. But you have like that flow state, that you can tap into when you're drawing, and kind of all the lines that you're drawing look pretty sick, in contrast to when you start drawing, especially in the beginning of the day, or if you didn't draw for a long time, your drawings look so poo poo, or your lines. I mean, we're talking about lines. Let me try to see where this line is. Okay, let me delete it because it's bothering me. And yeah, I think the shading is gonna works like that. In the beginning, when you try shading, it's gonna look like alright. It's you can see that it's kind of straight, but they're not appealing. And then the more you do it like kind of like automatically, and you can do lighter, you can go darker, without much effort, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you must draw for like longer period of time, not only 10 minutes a day or 5 minutes or whatever, if you have the time, of course. It's like there's some parts of the shading that I don't know if it's gonna look better with vertical lines. It looks alright, or with horizontal lines, right? That follow the shape. If I'm gonna always alternate, it's gonna look weird, no? Although it is looking cool. Then I delete this one. I'll go back to what I had, and I'll figure it out as I go. Whoa, 4 people are here, or 3 people. So yeah, how's the character looking? Pants is always like a biggest area where a character looks a little bit more empty. It's more difficult find to find decoration or accessories for the pants, because the pants are the longest part, and it's usually like all the stuff that you put is on the upper body, not on the lower body, right? And the pants, and I kind of like to draw long legs, but that goes against, that bites me in the butt, let's say it, because it's harder to decorate there. Shouldn't say decorate because it doesn't sound cool. Designering, okay. Just gonna clean a little bit of the lines. Okay, I need to hurry up. I need to do stuff quicker. By the way, how much percentage I have? 20, okay. like that. To add shading, I'm just gonna add shading. Ah, wrong layer again. Wrong layer. Okay. Gonna try to be a little bit more rough and more quick. Cannot take too long. Right? Okay, like that. Alright. Gonna add here some shading there. It looks like I'm adding shading like everywhere to fill in the blank spaces, but I shouldn't. Let me try to look up a reference. Yeah, I don't need to fill up everything. Any tips on shading? You mean like in a comic style, like I'm doing? Or it doesn't really matter. You think about, you gotta think about a light source, right? A big part of your shading is you can do it in your line work, in your line art. For example, the light source is here, right? Like I did this arrow, right? So the light's gonna hit here, and the light's not gonna hit here, right? So what you do, for example, only in the lines where it doesn't hit, you make the line thicker, like that. Let me take out the color so you understand better, right? So you're gonna do something like this. Is that what you mean, like lines? If that's what you mean, yeah, that's gonna be a huge help. And if you do this everywhere, you're gonna have like a very appealing character already without even the need of shading, because you can go into a lot of theories about like painting, like color theory and shading and reflections and all of that. I'm not really an expert. I kind of understand it, what all of it means, but I don't really practice. But I think this is so much more powerful and so much easier to learn than coming up with like a rendering, like a crazy rendering technique, or something very complicated. Like lines are so much more powerful, so much more powerful. And for example, see, this light is coming from up, but also from the right, right? It doesn't only come from, it comes diagonally. So there's gonna be less light hitting here, and more light coming hitting here. Also, it's not gonna hit a lot, but it's gonna be, the shadow is gonna be darker here than here. So what you can do is you train line weight and you make it thick, but not very thick in this side. Wait, let me try to make it with one line. And then when you arrive here, you make it very thick. And see, that makes it like pop out. And if you want to take it one step further, you can understand that this muscle goes like this. And you can do that. And here you can do that. And here you can do that, for example. Or here you can do like thicker. and you can make like a lot of volume with like simple line weight. Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty popular, pretty powerful in my opinion. Much more than, yeah, what I said. For example, here the light is hitting a little bit. Here, here it's gonna hit less because it's the jaw is protruding, right? The chin is coming out, so you make it less shadow here and more shadow here, and you have this cool effect. You can already see it, like you didn't even do any 3D stuff, but only by making the thinner line here and the thicker line here, it looks so cool. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, I'm trying. I'm slow. That's my drawback, I think. I take my time. Or or maybe I'm just impatient, with myself. And I think that I should draw quicker. But thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate it. But yeah, volume and line weight, it's gonna get you more far than all the advanced techniques. Um, a lot of people online teach like a pretty advanced techniques, and I've seen like in a lot of social media, especially like Kara. I don't know if you know, where there's like these people that render crazy. Like their rendering technique is. I don't do any rendering, by the way. Compared to me, it's like they're like giants. But their fundamentals, it's so bad, it's awful. Because everybody thinks that you should do like these rendering techniques for your art to be good, and the fundamentals is like whatever. So it looks like the characters that they do, they look like that potato character from Toy Story. But yeah, but what I'm doing here is I'm showing you how to shade, but if I don't do it properly, it's kind of gonna look like it's popping in a weird way. So it might look like it's a little bit flat. You have to practice it. What I mean by that is, how can I explain it? How can I explain it? Hmm. The weight line has to be done in a smart way. You cannot just make it like I'm doing here. I'm kind of doing not an excellent job. I'm making all the line weight the same. Look, can you see like the thickness here is kind of the same, so it looks flat. But if I do it like this, that one looks much better, right? Because there's a variation. It's called line variation, and this one looks much better than all this left line to be the same weight. You have to do like this uh, differentiation in line. I hope that makes sense. You deleted the message. I don't know what you said. But yeah. You know what? I kinda like my character with without any color. Hmm. Yeah, I like my character without any color. Right? It's better. And then if I wanna like add something that's dark or that's black, what if I do this one? Oh, but that's gonna be so time consuming though. That's gonna be so time consuming. It's wobbly. It starts wobbling. Like this. It's not gonna look cool because if I do this I gotta show the volume. Huh. So it's a simple technique but can also be a bit complex. The line weight, yeah, definitely. No color is good, it's like he doesn't have a shirt on. Yeah, I know what you mean, but and I actually want the shirt to be dark color or like black. I know what you mean, but I'm trying to fill it up with like a different technique. I'm just experimenting anyways. I'm gonna delete it pretty soon. Just trying to see how it looks, but it looks pretty flat, see? Looks pretty flat. I don't like it very much, but I'm just gonna go with it just to experiment. I know there's like some stuff that's not correct, but bear with me until I finish this experiment. I'm gonna do it quickly. Kinda like it, but I don't like it because if I do the lines here, I'm doing the lines to show the volume, and here I'm doing flat lines where it should be volume 2, like this. It looks weird. I think you're right. The colors is kinda necessary. Like this. What I can also add is, for example, some shading here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Mm, that's good, isn't it? Or I make this a little bit lighter, and then you can see the shading. What about this? Okay, we'll continue. Here, shading. I'm gonna add like a. Why am I? Why the? Oh, okay, I was drawing with the same color. I'm gonna draw something like this. To emphasize the muscle, the muscle fiber. Something like that. That looks pretty cool, in my opinion. Something like this. that. Then here. Basically to show volume. Add some stripes. What am I saying? Some lines. There's more depth here, so the line needs to be longer, and here there's like less depth, so it's shorter. That's why I put it like that. I made it like wider here and thinner here, narrower. I'm gonna do the same here. There's not a lot of light coming, so I'm gonna shade this section. Should I make it like this? Something like that. I think it's pretty cool. Maybe it's a little bit confusing. I think it looks cool, but if you think about it, maybe anatomically it's not perfect. Something like that would be better. And then here, oh, that looks cool. Okay, something like that. And here a little bit of shading too. This part, I think there's not gonna be. This one looks weird. Wait, let me make it like thinner. And here it looks bad because it's like squarish, but if I add it longer, it's gonna make like a curve, and it's gonna look less weird. Yeah, looks pretty alright. See, this shape is pretty round, right? It's like a balloon. If I make the shading like this, it looks pretty boring. So I should make it like this, or like this. No, let's try. Or like this. No, I have to make it more like this, I think. More curved. I think looks better. And here I'm just gonna add a little bit shade. Yeah. Here I'm gonna add a shading here for the muscle of the neck. Let me see if I can add something for the pectorals here, like a shading. Yeah, I can, but oh, my voice today, man. I can, but looks too squarish. Okay, the battery. My voice is killing me, man. The battery is dying today. right now. Okay, but I think we did pretty good progress. Pretty good progress, if I can say so. Just gonna add some more details here and then call it a day. For today, it was a pretty good stream. Spend a little bit of time talking about the manga with the viewers, with the subscribers. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Just gonna add here some more shadow like that. The legs, I'm gonna do it. I'm avoiding the legs. Procrastinating on the feet. Not the legs, the feet. I don't know what to do for the feet. I don't know what to do for the feet. But okay. Let's see, what can I do for the feet? I'm not gonna leave him with sandals, right? I was about to jump back to the to a side quest to the eye to the hair instead of doing the feet. Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna give him sandals, I'm gonna give him what I'm gonna give him. I can try to give him something. I could give him like a knight. That's gonna be boring, don't know. Like a knight shoes. I could do that, but that's not gonna be fun. Okay. What can I add for his feet? Some regular shoes? Yeah, some regular shoes or some regular boots. Some boots with like a big... How do you call this part? My language, I call it tongue. Is it also called tongue in English? Can I give him some military boots, you know, with like a big metal thing at the edge, at the point? Something like this, and then some cross laces. Like that. This one should be going outwards. This one is the tongue is inside. Doesn't look that cool. I did the design of this character before. The tongue was like bending like this, so I'm gonna do something similar. Yeah, something like that. And that's one shoe. It's pretty sketchy. Gonna fix it later. Later, probably next stream or after, I don't know. No promises. Okay, the front part, and then let's add the tongue. It's gonna be like that. There's gonna be the opening here of the shoe. The back of the shoe, a little bit of volume coming out.